Hi, I'm Luke. I read the second chapter of Aesthetics, A Beginner's Guide. This chapter was titled, What is a Work of Art? I was hoping that some questions would be answered in this chapter, and they weren't really. It seems that there's not really a clear-cut answer for what art is, which is alright. That's what I expected going in. But this chapter is divided into 4 different sections with kind of 4 different definitions of what art is. It starts with ancient times with Plato, and at this time, art was mostly some sort of display of reality, whether that be paintings or sculptures or poetry. It was expressing a reality in some way, and Plato didn't like this. He liked the ideal form of things, and we talked about like the ideal form of a trash can in class. And to Plato, like the ideal tree would be a tree that you can go outside and actually see and touch. And if someone were to paint that, you're not seeing the ideal form of it. You're not seeing reality. You're seeing you're being removed from the ideal form. So Vasari says that art is mimetic, that like painting is simply the imitation of all living things of nature. So that's kind of the first definition. The second one is that art can be the expression of feelings. And this is the idea that art isn't just for beauty, at least that beauty isn't the main goal of it, but that it can be expressive acts. But this is kind of slippery, I feel, because everything, you could argue that everything is an expressive act, or at least most things are expressive acts. And if every expressive act is a work of art, then what makes a work of art special? And so that's kind of the problem with that one. The third one is that art can be an aesthetic experience. And so I immediately thought of fiction, or really any books that give you some sort of experience. And this doesn't need to necessarily need to be happy things, but could also be sad things or things that make you feel scared that you wouldn't necessarily think that are beautiful at first. But like, for example, if you get through a sad book or a sad movie or something at the end, you're really sad through it and everything, it's not beautiful, but at the end you're like, wow, that was really cool or whatever, and you could see that as art. Clive Bell says that to appreciate a work of art, we need to bring with us nothing from life, no knowledge of its ideas and affairs, no familiarity with its emotions, and that really gives you a true experience, and that can be art. And the final definition that it talks about is our modern day one, and that's that art is what artists make, which is called institutional theory. And this is the one we've kind of joked at in class, that a banana duct taped to a wall can be art, or that a urinal that is called a fountain can be art. And that's true now, it seems. I mean, at least through this institutional theory, that anything can become art, or anything can become art if the art world confers upon it the status of art. And that seems kind of, crazy to me that now we're talking about art in this way, when before it seems to have like logical, reasonable definitions. First that it's a display of reality, and then it could be emotions, and the third one that it's experience, and now it's just what someone says it is. So I guess that's my question would be, why have we seemed to kind of digress our definition of what art is? The first 3 are kind of logical, reasonable definitions, and they can all be supported, and I can see how you could consider those things art. But why now are we at where someone that is probably higher up in the art community says that's art, and that's just what we consider to be art now? Why are we there? Why have we digressed over time instead of progressed? As far as my connection to class, though, quickly going back to that, I kind of found that just the fact that art is so subjective, it seems, it reminded me a lot of Hume, and talking about beauty. It seems to be the same sort of thing. Hume says that everyone has a different standard of taste, and that a bunch of people could find one thing beautiful, or different things beautiful, and it's impossible to say who's right and wrong. And I think with art, it's kind of the same thing. Art doesn't have to necessarily be beautiful, but some people may think, well, it's only art if it's beautiful. Something that makes me sad can't be art. And I think that's fair to say for those people. And other people, they may love sad movies or something. I know a lot of people like that. And they find that, maybe beautiful in its own right, doesn't make them happy, makes them sad, but they find that is a work of art. So I guess that was my connection with Hume. But overall, it's a very interesting chapter to read. Maybe one step closer to understanding what art really is, but it still seems that it's very subjective. But I hope the discussion goes well after this.